I saw someone the other day and he was actually breaking down to me. He was like, you're like a hood hero. He goes, bro, you're like a superstar. Okay, who's your top three?
No, he's talking about
Who's your top
pound.
three? Go on,
We're talking.
Tell me.
Are you negotiating at the moment? I feel like you kind of are, but you don't want to say anything. Hello and welcome to Playbook Boxing. I'm Charlotte Daly. I'll be your host alongside Spencer Oliver. And today in the studio, we are joined by Anthony Yarde and Tunde. But before we get stuck into it, remember, guys, please like, subscribe, and you can also listen to us on Spotify. Guys, thanks for coming into the studio. How are you both?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Tunde, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Now, all the better for seeing you now. I only watch you on YouTube, so it's all good.
She's become so big now, isn't it? It's like,
celebrity.
That's where she's at.
Yeah,
Listen, Ant, I want to start with you, mate. Like, I see you travelling around a lot. I've seen you like all over the place. Good to see you back here.
Yes.
But I mean, talk to us about your travelling. What's going on there, mate? You've been Dubai, you've been Thailand.
First I went Thailand. Beautiful place. Somewhere I'll consider, living in my old age.
Really?
100%. There's a lot of nature there, fresh fruit. The people are lovely. Learned some Thai out there. Sawadee krap.
What's that?
Kapun krap.
What does that mean? You could be saying anything right now.
Anywhere you go, yeah, they say Sawadee krap. The women say Sawadee ka, and the men say Sawadee krap.
All right.
Cool.
Have you got
That's
anything
to say
else?
hello. That's it. Hello and thank you is kapun. So it's
Right.
kapun krap for the men. Kapun ka for the women. You have to
So
sing.
I suppose you only really need to know hello
Yeah.
and
thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
The manners.
Life skills, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Where did Thailand? I feel like you have a bit of an affinity to it now, the way that you talk about it. Have you always gone there as your holiday destination?
So the first time I went there, I went to somewhere called Rayong. So my friend who played football, he was out there. He spent some time in there playing football. So I said, I want to come and visit. Went up there for like 5 days. He had a house up there, but Rayong is like bush, like nothing was there. 2-hour drive from Bangkok, and then I just loved the vibe of the place. And then now I had time to actually go and have a holiday. So I said, I've always wanted to go Phuket, go to Phi Phi Island, all them kind of places. But seeing it, being there, like you can get a massage for £6. So I was getting 2 massages every day, laying on the beach with my feet crossed.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Literally.
I didn't want to say nothing. I was going to bring you in at that
Everyone
point.
was thinking.
Hey, I'm like, listen.
When me and Joe, there's massage and massage.
There's 2 types of massages: massage and massage. In massages, sometimes you're on the beach, but it's just the TLC you get out there.
You seem to know a lot about the massages out
No,
there
no,
as
no.
well.
I know from
Have you been
massage.
with him? No.
No, I learned from Ant.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Ant teaches me.
He's an older generation.
He's my generation, mate.
The young learn from the seniors.
Okay. All right. I think, Charlotte, you better move this on.
It's gone completely left field and we've been talking for about 3
yeah.
minutes. When did you get back?
I got back in March.
Okay.
You know what? It's like there's like a time lapse because when I told my sister the other day I got back in February. She like, no, you got back in March. So I guess it was March.
And straight back to the gym, or
Straight back to the gym.
do you miss it when you're away traveling, or is it
Yeah,
quite a nice break?
Because it's different. I'm always training anyway. So when I was in Dubai, so the 3 places I went was I went Thailand, then I went to Dubai, and I went Ghana, and then I went back to Dubai. But so I went Ghana for the boxing. When I went back to Dubai, I was just training. Enjoying. Me and Tony was talking about this as well. Enjoying doing different types of training. Like I was doing some training called shred fast, where you're in the sauna training. I was training on the beach, things like that. So there was no like pressures of boxing. And he would tell you, I came back. And he was like, what you been doing?
Well, what people don't recognise is that, like, look, you've been a pro a long time. They've been a pro, 11 years now?
Yeah,
11 years, 2015.
11 years in May.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wild, man. It's actually wild. So I remember you boxing before you even pro. I don't know where that time's gone, but people won't understand when you've been boxing at a sort of level, which you have been boxing at an elite level, 3 shots at a world title and all of that sort of stuff. You go, to get motivation when you have nothing on the horizon is very, very difficult. So, but you have to tick over because we know we live in a world today with boxing that the phone rings 2 weeks, so-and-so's dropped out, big opportunity. And that's what it is, boxing now. It's an opportunity. It's like, and you have to take it, right?
100%. And that's the way I've lived my life anyway, is to just, be a better person. So outside of boxing, I want to be like healthy, fit. My thing is I love food. So you got to have the balance. If I'm not training,
Got to put the work into.
at the same time, I like when I got abs. I like when I look good. So it's just having the balance. So that's why when I was away, I was doing different types of training because I actually enjoy, training, fitness, going on runs on the beach and, trying different exercises.
Mate, it makes me sick when you see him running on the beach. I'm like, is there ever a time when you haven't got abs? You know what I mean? Like,
my top is off 24/7.
I know, mate. I know.
24/7.
It's sort of like, you know what I mean? You do, because I had times where I go, it was a long time ago, but I remember I used to be like that. And it's sort of like, it motivates you in a lot of ways. It's quite inspirational. But is there ever a time when you do get out of shape?
No. And this guy as well, like me and Joel is another fighter that we that Tunde
I know
trains.
Joel. Yeah, nice guy.
Very good guy, very good boxer, trains very hard. And even today, just now in the gym, we was laughing because Tunde's got a thing here where if you got your top off, he would look at you. We're like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, I'm a man, innit? But he's checking to see if you're in shape, so he's always looking at you like,
Trust me.
Cool.
like, he would look at you. So when I'm getting a bit of a chub,
Yeah.
you see me and you, okay.
But son, you used to fight as well, but you keep yourself in shape.
Have to. With these two, there's no choice, and that's why it's always like a sparring competition. If I see any, wobbles, I'm straight. I'm like, bro, what's that, man? You're fat. Because I relish in calling guys fat.
Brilliant.
So they're athletes, they're professional athletes, and so there's always banter amongst us three. And when they're in shape, might go, and then I'll go like that. I'll go, all right, cool.
Yeah.
It's working.
Talk to me a little bit more about your relationship, the two of you, because there's your standard kind of trainer and boxer relationship, and then there's that crossover where you're actually mates and you've already been ripping into each other for the last kind of 5 minutes already, that you guys are definitely those two that have like blurred those lines. How did you get to that point, and why does that work so well for the both of you?
For me, it's over time. This is the way I've always been, like my whole life. I'm a relationship person. Yeah, you got work and you got business and things like that. But if I'm gonna be somewhere every single day and I'm gonna, put my life into something, I wanna have family around me. Because going to work every day, I've done it, Before I started boxing late, I started boxing when I was 19 years old. I went to, the office, everyone's fake. No one really likes each other. You can't wait till the weekend. People are talking behind each other's backs or whatever. But my thing was, even from when I got into boxing, I'm like, whoever's gonna be with me, it's like a family. You argue like a family. You go out to eat together. Like it's actually normal. So when you go into work, it's like you're just training. It's not actually like, I have to go there and deal with these people again. So it's different.
But the importance, a lot of people won't know, is the importance of having that relationship with your trainer, because you can travel around different gyms looking for a certain trainer, but unless you get that bond, that connection, you feel that electricity, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how good the trainer is or what reputation he has. It's very much like I'm not going to say father-son relationship, let's say brother relationship here, because he might get offended if I say father-son.
I call him uncle.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a family relationship, and that is important, man, because that will come out in your performance. And because it affects your training if you don't have that sort of bond. Yeah. And I think that some fighters are always searching for that, but don't find it. You two seem to have that.
Yeah, I mean, there's you want to ask?
No, go on.
Yeah, I mean, there's been many fighters that have come up to me. Richard Riappo comes to mind straight away, and he's like, "Yeah, what you and Ant have got, I feel every fighter wants that because it's beautiful."
Yeah, absolutely.
But they have to understand, the reason why me and Ant work is because we are ourselves. So, and touching on the family situation, that's it. Your family piss you off at times, but you're going on, they're still your family.
Yeah.
Even Ant, I hope you don't mind me saying, but, Ant will be like, my family. And I always like, Ant, but they're your family. We can't do nothing. You can be the maddest at them, they're still your family. And I feel over time, Ant mentioned that word time, we've had to just try to understand one another. Because he's such a emotional volcano sometimes, and he will bear testament. When I get angry, it's not. I'm not a good, nice person to be around. But Ant has had to accept that. I've had to accept that about him. And as the days and the months and the years have evolved, we've kind of like understood each other better and better. And the most important part of that is through the so-called low times.
Yeah.
That's when you will know the true strength of a relationship, is then when you're down, is the other one going to help pick you up and move you forward. And time is a master, really, and that's been a great thing with me and Ant.
You nailed it there, because that's what I was talking about, the importance of a relationship between trainer and fighter, and you've just gone through the layers there that a lot of people don't understand and will never understand. You know, you've had some criticism in the past about your relationship and about you leaving Tunde. Should he leave Tunde to kick on and go whatever? We was talking about this before we come on the show. I said, if you look at Anthony Yarde, his background, where he come from, I remember you even when you started at the, not Queensbury, the other Queensbury, like this white collar, if you like, type background, no real amateur experience, come into boxing, turned pro at 2015, and you look what you've achieved under you, and what that, I go, that is sensational. Like 3 world title attempts against 3, not world champions, and 3 pound for pound stars. When you go Beterbiev, you know, Benavidez most recently, and Kovalev back in 2019. I don't think there's a British fighter. Can you tell me a British fighter that's a harder route into a world title?
That's what makes me laugh, because you know me, like I'm a worm, innit? I'm a bookworm when it comes to boxing and, and history, and especially with regards to the UK. I'm like, I try my best, and it just goes over my head, because I'm like, okay, if you want somebody to move on to something better, you show me the British fighter that has won against an elite fighter. Ricky Hatton never beat Floyd Mayweather. Ricky Hatton never beat Manny Pacquiao. Tyson Fury didn't beat Usyk. Anthony Joshua never beat Usyk. Kilbrook never beat Errol Spence. The list goes on and on. So really, what are you moving on to?
Yeah.
Do you want this person to end a bond, a relationship, someone that really cares about them? Because all right, talking about, you are looking out for the best interest of a fighter. One which is not, and this is where I get emotional, because Ant knows me, it's never been financial. This is, I look at him like a son, brother, what have you.
Yeah.
And I can say, and he knows, that it's always protection. And I feel like as a fighter, because I've been a professional fighter.
Yeah, of course.
That's what you want more than anything.
You want
to be able to, and we fight a lot. You know, me and Ant fight.
That's important.
Me and Ant, and I'm telling you that we fight. Yeah. Like literally, we'll be shouting in the gym.
Who wins?
I'm always win.
It's a joker. No one believes you as well.
No.
That's the thing that's funny.
Mike's going to go flying in a minute. You're going to prove it here.
But it's the truth.
It's funny because no one believes him. He don't even believe himself.
So you know, and this is it. This is, people see us walking down the street laughing. We was even at a show, and some taxi driver goes, "So you ain't messing about. Like you actually are like this. You're laughing. You're in the, because that's what it's about, right? You have a career. It has a start and an ending point. And so what happens after that? So we're trying to, you know, we've built something where after boxing, you know, and most importantly, and as all these faculties,
the career.
Just before you move on though, we've heard Tunde's side of it. What's your opinion on when you hear people say that you should either bring other people in or split or move on?
Do you know what? So there's always 2 sides to things, yeah? It's like, yeah, you can do something and it works. You've seen it in history before. Someone, you know, gets a new trainer, it works out great for them. Someone like Marcus Maidana, you know, he got a new trainer, he was the best Marcus Maidana. You get some fighters, they keep chopping and changing trainers and they're shit. Like you see them, they're shit. They get worse because people are just trying things and there's no recipe. For me, it's like, okay, cool. What makes me happy? And I will say this as well. So even if you want to talk about Arsenal, yeah, people keep saying, you know, Arteta out, you know, when Arsene Wenger wasn't doing too well. Arsene Wenger out. What about the days when, you know, the team is the best and they're winning? No one says the manager out,
of course.
The trainer out.
Look at them now, Champions League final.
Have you two ever had a conversation, though, about that, like after a loss? Like, say, after one of your losses, you go back to Kovalev, even Beterbiev, or more recently, Benavidez. Did you ever have a conversation about, you know, the relationship or anything.
And that's what I was going on to. So we've added to the team.
Yes.
You know, we've taken away. So if you look at my team, you know, it's always been, I'm a person, I like loyalty, I like bond, I like relationship. And I had one amateur coach, Tony Cisse. Again, when you first ever saw me box, you know, Tony Cisse, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
It's recent as well, so I'll get emotional. We'll talk about that. And again, Tunde Ajayi, my professional boxing coach, and we had a team. And you know, the thing about Tunde and Tony Cisse is, these are two people who I've never ever seen them miss a day at the gym. You know, I've never seen anybody. They work harder than fighters when it comes to like day in, day out. Like Tunde, we're on the train, he's still watching boxing. I'm trying to have a conversation with him about life or about a girl or anything like that, and he's like, yeah, and he's still watching boxing.
Nothing.
So it's
no
like,
conversation about massage.
you don't want to. You don't want to talk about no massage. I try to bring up a massage to him. I see a girl. I was like, I'll give him a nudge. I was like, look at the skirt. He's like to me, yeah. He's just there on his phone watching boxing. So it's like, these are things that I'm, you know, motivated by. And, you know, I'm always laughing at him saying, Bob, you're old. You know, you're old. And he's always saying to me, yeah, but look who I am. You know, I'm more switched on than you. So it's like keeps a competitive spirit.
Yeah, it's good.
How do you deal with that then, Tunde? Having new people coming in and fitting that dynamic, then going from you almost being, it's never so much a sole voice, but being that sole voice, to now having to work with other people and expand that.
Yeah,
team
it's a very
dynamic.
good question. As much as I want it to just be me, the number one focus of all of this is the fighter, and that's Anthony. And anything that, because we've tried, we don't. It's, you know what it is? It's like I told Paul Smith. It's just that we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We never talk. We
try.
don't. Even Wardley Harrison was on a show on Sunday. He's saying, yeah, you know, you should go for the altitude training. People don't know. We've been in Colorado. We've been training in Budge Gym. We've been doing it. Well, they done the stairs. I never done the stairs. I stopped halfway. Those stairs are mad.
Wow.
He's scared of heights.
I'm scared of heights.
He got halfway
I am
and
as
he tried to grab me. He's like, hey, we're high.
No.
No way.
Those Colorado steps. So, you know, we've had Ruben Tavares, famously worked with David Hay and more recently Richard Riatpour. We've done everything. And me, I've had to, because I'm like, I just want Ant to be the best he can be. So it's the fact that we don't highlight these things that I feel like people have they get a misconception of what we're actually doing. But I'm fine with it. I'm great. Anything that could give me a bit of a rest, because these guys work hard.
Well, that's what it is, Tunde, I think, isn't it? That because you don't highlight certain things, you're talking about sparring. Oh, you know, Anthony Yarde, he doesn't spar to the head. You go, how do you know that? Because we have so many rumours, shit rumours in boxing, by the way, that people go, like, you get people that are talking about certain situations. You go, we don't even know what we're doing in camp. What fighter in their right mind could go through sparring? And we're talking about Ingle gyms as well, with Nazim Hamids, Johnny Nelsons and all that. They all done head sparring, but because they seem to be doing body sparring,
They think
all
they
of a
only
sudden,
do body sparring.
automatically that's all they do.
Yeah.
And that's why they've not got the conditioning, etc., etc.
The thing I like about you, Spence, you know, being an ex-fighter, you know how hard it is to get to the highest level of the sport. We're not, and as you said, as you highlighted, Anthony, these losses are against generational champions. I mean, I don't hear the criticism for Zerdo's corner on Saturday, but it's all, and I don't mind, because I know that we've, you know, sometimes when you go down the different path, you're open to criticism because you're not following what everyone else is doing.
Sure.
So it's like, I even spoke to one of our other co-trainers and I'm like, have you really deeped what Ant's done? Have you realised that we went to Russia?
Yeah.
We went to Russia. We fought arguably a monster in Russia. They've all been monsters, but I'm talking about monsters one by one. This young man went to Russia and this stuff that happened in Russia, what we've never spoken about. That if we maybe it will come out in our books. If we spoke about it, they'll be like,
Here's a good time.
You know, it's a business here, so we need to monetize these things.
Exactly.
So it's like,
don't want to rush a mafia.
We don't want to rush it. But Spence, believe me, if you know what we went through in Russia, ordinary, this is not. But on a mental capacity, to be in a ring with these guys, that you must have done something right.
Yeah.
You must have not once, not twice, not three, and as fought now 3 generational champions.
And not just competing, by the way, right?
Fight.
Because I was at the Better Behave one,
Yes,
I was there, mate, and I'm looking as an ex-fighter again, and you can see, and I'm seeing Better Behave after round 3 and round 4, and it was a war.
Yes.
And all right, he won that war, but you're looking at it, and there was times in there where I go, he's walking back to the corner, we're doing the commentary, and I'm going, he's asking himself questions here. Like, he's digging deep. Yes. Yeah, he's got that championship mindset and he's pulled himself through that, and fair play to him, and that's why he's such a great fighter. But you go, you took him to that place where it was not a breeze in the park. He had to bite down on his gumshoe a little bit. And Kovalev as well, inexperienced maybe. You got him hurt and then you blew a gasket. But what I'm saying is, you had your moments in them fights. Yes. So we're talking about elite fighters here.
Elite. And a constant reminder, which is what I know Ant is, Ant's a winner. He's always been that from day one, always competitive, even now. Like, he wants to be the first. And it will tell me, no, that was right, I was right on the pads, that we mess up in a combination. And I always say to Ant, have you really, these guys have been boxing since they're 6 years old. 5 years old. Hundreds of amateur fights spent. And I'm like, for us to even be there, where we've come from, our story is nothing but miraculous. And I feel like and continues to get better. Because what a lot of fighters don't understand is that when they compete at a high level and come up short, you've got that experience, and that can't be bought.
When you talk about your route, those 3 fights in particular, there's other ways to get to world titles that other people have taken that are much easier routes. Now, if you understand boxing and you know boxing, you know what you've achieved and you get the credit for that. But if you're maybe more of a casual fan, they look at the 3 defeats and go, 100%. He hasn't managed to pick up the title. Do you regret at all the route that you've taken, or would you do it again the same way?
I was born in Hackney. I grew up in Stratford when it was bad Stratford. And, I would say I spent a lot of my growing up years as well in Forest Gate. A lot of gang crime, knife crime. I grew up in an era where everyone was getting stabbed, robbed for their phones. There was a lot of gangs going around. And I saw someone the other day, and I went to school with him. And he was actually breaking down to me. He was like, you're like a hood hero. He goes, brother, what you've done, he's like, who would have thought it in school? He goes, bro, you're like a superstar, like you're around the world. And I'm just looking at him, smiling, and I'm like, because I'm still Anthony, but how other people sometimes view you is you're just this hero, this person that they look to now, they're fans of yours. And this guy was one of the baddest men in my area. And how he was talking about me, so I'm looking at him, I'm like, and he goes, yeah, man, but that's all childish stuff. He's like, but you now, he goes, my son looks at you, and I'm telling my son, I know you. I wouldn't change a thing. Because the reason I even brought up the background is because where I grew up and how I grew up, some of my friends, they're not here today. People that I knew got stabbed, young ages, 16. I've seen people that I knew, younger boys than me, get stabbed and they're dead. A lot of my friends went jail, or people that I knew from the area or whatever, jail, like long sentences. And even with the whole death talk, you don't know what tomorrow holds. It's not that I live my life thinking like that, but I'm like, cool. So if I try to go another route and I never had them opportunities, and I always question myself, why did I not take that fight? What would the outcome have been? I know the outcome. I know who I am. I can look myself in the mirror and say, cool, you need to be better.
I think from a fighter's perspective, though, from a fighter's point of view, when you're in that moment, you don't give a shit who that champion is or who you're fighting. It's about the opportunity. It's not about, all right, some people get a better opportunity and go, it's a vacant title. You're boxing some, Mexican road sweeper that ain't particularly that good, but you've just been gifted that opportunity. That happens. But what I'm saying is you have to deal with the cards that you've got. Yours just unfortunately happen to be like high stakes, you know what I mean? Like, but that's the game though, innit? You've got to take that opportunity.
For me, like, some people might not know about this, but to show my character, with the Kovalev fight, I was, me, I was a hot prospect, 18-0. Everyone was talking about me, poster boy for BT Sports. And we got offered the Kovalev fight. And then I was like, yeah, come, I don't care who this guy is, I'll fight him. And then they said, step aside, because, you know, I was mandatory. You know, I worked my way up to be mandatory, and they said, we'll offer you step aside money. So even me and today had a conversation, how much? That was the first thing, how much?
Yeah.
And they said the same amount that you get for fighting him. And then again, we were training, we had another conversation, and we said, nah, man, I want to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, you can take a step aside money. I could have waited, you know, Canelo ended up beating him. The belts could have fragmented. As you just said, I could have got another guy, been more champion. Life could have been different. But I'm not God. I don't know what tomorrow holds, and you don't know how things are going to happen. So
if you end your career not having a world title, how will that sit with you?
That's you know, I love food. So my saying would be, that's the way the cookie crumbled. You know, that's the way the cookie crumbled. But again, I'm still active, and my beliefs are I'm going to be a world champion. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, would that opportunity come at a higher weight? Would you take it if that opportunity, come at a higher weight? Would you take it? Like, is cruiserweight an option moving forward for you, like in the future?
Look at my shoulders.
Yeah, listen, the reason I say that is because now I'm struggling to see how you get down to light heavy, mate. Like,
everyone says this, but again, I don't talk about this a lot, but you've seen it in light heavyweight divisions, or, you know, I don't want to talk about other weight divisions right now, but this is a fact about boxing. Every weight class in boxing, they're quite close to each other. Yeah. There goes light heavyweight, 175 pounds. It jumps to 200 pounds. It's the biggest gap in boxing.
Yeah.
So it's like, if there was a weight in between, I always say this to like people that I'm talking to or whatever. I was like, if there was an 86 kilos like there was in amateurs, I would have been more champion already.
Would you know what? A guy that you boxed, Benavidez, has just done that. He's just jumped up to 200 pounds, beat Ramirez in an incredible performance. You look at that, all right, and I just go like, this guy has just gone through the weight divisions, and he's talking about him now. He's a pound for pound star for sure. And you look at your performance against him in light of that, and you go, now start giving me my flowers a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because the guys, you know, you get, you know, in generations, you get great fighters, and I think, tell me if I'm wrong here, I think that because of the modern era of heavyweights, they are smaller than your Joshua, Tyson Furies, Deontay Wilds. They seem to be a smaller generation. May not be lighter, but they're smaller. I think Benavidez could go up to heavyweight and do well.
Well, it's interesting because obviously when we were fighting him, I done my research, and a lot of people know he was beating up heavyweights. When he was 19 years old.
When he was a kid.
You know, and that's why Bivol refused to fight him, or as longed it out as long as he can. I think even Rumours just longed it out until it was like, you're gonna have to fight this guy now. You know, because and then, you know, and he said, I'm sorry, Gilberto, but I'm gonna have to give you an ass whooping. You know, and these guys know about Benavidez. They've known about him since he was a young man, and even I remember Ant was doing an interview with him with that Versace.
Rick Reno.
Rick Reno, Mr. Versace. And I was sitting over there, and Benavidez there, and I looked at his legs, and I was like, nah.
Legs are long, isn't it?
Spence, his legs. I was like, nah. These men they're doing something.
Really?
There's no way this guy's a light heavyweight.
Really?
He would. He looked bigger than a cruiserweight. His legs were massive.
Yeah.
And I was like, for sure, he can do. And just by, you know, when people weigh in, you can always tell how well or how much they've struggled at the weigh-in by the reaction once they step off the scales.
Sure.
This guy was guzzling fluids and eating food. I caught him. I went round the corner. He was stuffing food. This is like
But he even
2
said
minutes
it.
after.
He even said it though. He said it after the fight, after the weigh-in with me. He said it. He goes, I can't remember how many pounds he said, but people were like, what?
Yeah.
He said, he goes, I'm fully hydrated.
And I think with his speed, you know, the speed is a power. And he's got great boxing ability, which I think is overlooked.
Well, that was the question, wasn't it? I go like, because I picked him to win that fight against Ramirez. A lot of people thought Ramirez would be too big.
Yes.
But I go, the reason I think that he will, because I think that he'll keep that speed.
Yes.
And if he keeps that speed, then he's going to be a world of problems. And he showed that he, you know,
He actually looked
He
faster.
looked quicker.
He looked
He looked
faster.
quicker.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
probably more
looked faster.
rehydrated. He looked quicker.
Yes.
And off the back of that performance, straight away, I went off the back of that performance. I saw Roy Jones do an interview as well, by the way. And Roy Jones said,
Yes.
listen, we're striving for greatness in this day and age where you get, it's all about the opportunity again, all that. That guy should move up, box Usyk straight away because he could do that. Like that jump up. He's about, you got to develop into the weight and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. I
Not
think
so
he
much now, like you go, but what I'm saying is, I know it's a big ask. What I'm saying is that off the back of that performance, you go, if he continues to carry that speed up at heavyweight,
yes. The thing
He
is,
could be a main player in the
Usyk's fast as
heavyweight
well.
division.
Usyk's fast, physically and mentally, and the size may play a massive factor. When Roy moved up to heavyweight, he was fighting a slow John Ruiz.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why he was able to do that. He weren't talking about fighting Lennox.
Yeah.
Or he weren't talking about fighting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he couldn't have
He
beat
talks about
Lennox.
Roy Jones. I say to him all the time. I say Roy Jones is my guy. We
It don't
always.
matter,
I
though,
don't care.
bro.
Roy Jones
He
is the
couldn't
best.
have beat- he
He
couldn't
was
have
the
beat-
best.
Oh, mate,
He would not.
in his
All
prime,
right,
mate.
Roy
You're
Jo-
not
listen,
messing with Roy
so what
Jones.
we're trying to say now is that Roy Jones would have beat Lennox Lewis.
But we're not
No,
talking
he
about
wouldn't
that.
have.
We're not
No,
talking about
that's the
that. We're
comparison
saying
I
how
made,
good
though.
Roy Jones was.
No,
Stop
no,
trying
no.
to compare
I'm
people.
just saying we're making a comparison about a smaller guy moving up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
James Toney done it. James Toney
Where would
moved
you
up to
put Roy
heavyweight.
Jones in the all-time greats,
He's
like
one-
in his peak?
He's definitely my top 3.
He's gotta be top
all
3.
time.
Wait,
Of all
I
time.
was
hold on.
waiting for
No,
you.
I have to look at him.
Not of top, but he ain't
You
beating
said,
Lennox.
but you
Lennox
said,
is the
hold
greatest
on.
heavyweight
You
ever,
said,
if you ask me.
You said,
Yeah.
even in his prime, you said Kawasaki still would have beat him.
Yeah, I think he would have.
He's crazy.
I
Sounds wrong.
I put
Something's
Joe.
wrong.
Not in his prime.
I put Joe up there with these guys.
Same. No, but you just said top 3.
So,
Okay,
no, but-
who's your top 3?
No, he's talking about in
Who's your
pound for
top 3?
pound.
Go on.
We're talking. We're
Tell me.
talking.
Who's your top 3?
Okay, well, I'm not giving away all the
See? No, because we had this
That's a
debate.
cop out if I've
Yeah,
heard it.
no, it's not a cop. I don't want people to know my things. But what I'm
Okay,
trying to say is
okay.
that I put Roy up there, 100%.
So it's Roy Kawasaki?
Floyd is definitely no.
So
we're
you said
we're talking
Kawasaki's up there?
about pound for pound, so it's not a weight class.
So,
Yeah, pound for pound.
Pound for pound is everything.
Okay.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So I've got many. Sugar Ray Robinson is one. Sugar Ray Leonard is another. Roy Jones is there. Floyd Mayweather is there. Sweet Pea's there.
Okay.
Mike Tyson is there.
Okay.
Even though Mike Tyson, a lot of people may disagree with that.
Usyk's there.
Because
Well, it's
because
that
he didn't
18-month
really-
period though, when Mike Tyson was a bad man. Like
100%.
that's what I'm saying. We're talking about
100%.
when they were
Prime.
at their prime.
But
Prime.
Roy
these
Jones
are the
was
guys.
pretty
It's
untouchable,
Roy.
man.
Bro, if I'm studying people, Roy has to be there. But you can't really teach what Roy does.
Yeah.
That's he does
Roy
things.
was my guy.
Which and it's like Benavidez. You can't like you. Alright, you go and try to start training for an 18 punch combination. It's not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? So he's one of these guys that we look at as like they're greats. They're generational greats.
good.
In any era, they would have been successful. And Roy Jones is definitely one of them. But he wouldn't move up to heavyweight and beat Lennox Lewis. But you can beat a plodder like John Ruiz. That's
See, he's
my
been
point.
disrespectful.
No. But that's what he was.
I know
don't
what
think
you're
that's
saying. I know
being
you're saying.
res-
When you get that opportunity, if you're
David
going
Davey-
to get an opportunity to box for the world heavyweight title,
Yes.
in history, if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be Charles Martin or John Ruiz.
100%.
Yeah.
They're the sort of guys that you want.
But
as
Prime though
Usyk is
is middleweight. Like Roy Jones at middleweight.
beating James Toney,
no.
that
Roy
Roy
Jones was the best at light heavy. I'll be honest with you.
You think?
Roy Jones was the
think it
best,
middleweight.
greatest light
What about
heavyweight
when he
ever.
beat James Toney?
James Toney, and he beat them in their prime, and he beat Hopkins in his
that
prime.
was in the middle,
So
though,
that's
right?
what. So, yeah,
Middle.
that was a
Yeah.
middle. Hopkins in his prime, and I just said it. James Toney in his prime. That's what makes Roy great.
Middleweight though.
And middleweight, yeah, but
but you said light
heavyweight. No, he was a great. You need to go
I
and watch
know
his
he
light
was
heavyweight.
great when he fought the tall Jamaican guy and he
No,
spun
Richard,
round.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
Light heavyweight. Roy was unbelievable at light heavyweight. Probably one of the best light heavyweights ever. But it's a conversation that me and him have all the time about fights and
bringing up
fighters.
beef
And this is what we love.
Yeah.
I told
It's
you
like
it's gonna be-
therapy
Hey,
session, actually.
Didn't I say to you it's going to be a bit of a nutty interview? I said because it'll run off somewhere. I said Neil will say so and goes somewhere. Yeah, it's good though. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to bring it back to Benavidez. People have said, obviously, about the Alexander Usyk fight. If he was to go up, I think Turkey said that he would like to make that. What would your route be for him? Where do you think he goes? Does he try and take on a Beterbiev? Now, Beterbiev probably won't do it because of his age. But like, what route do you think?
I think
would
that
be...
he should solidify these places as a light heavyweight if he's to do that. And the only two guys are Beterbiev and Bivol. Both of them have fought one another, and I think that is a fight or fights he's been asking for since he's moved up to like heavyweight, and that would really just do it. Because I mean, those are the attractive fights. At cruiserweight, Jai up a tie, but Jai hasn't looked that good in his last 2 fights. And so I think most people will make Benavidez favourite going into the Jai up a tie fight.
Jai has also said that he won't fight him because... Benavidez has said he won't fight Jai because of the Zuffa belt. He was saying that he won't do that. So that adds another hurdle, which actually, interestingly, I'd like to get your guys' opinion on Zuffa boxing, and especially as a fighter yourself and talking about wanting world titles. What do you make of the Zuffa title and that as a new entity in boxing?
I always think additions are good. I think it adds competition. You know, it spices things up a little bit. You know, I was one of the advocates. I was, you know, pushing the whole thing of, you know, when like, you know, you got the Jake Pauls and I was like, I love it. It just adds attention to boxing. So anytime something's added to make boxing a bigger sport or more watched or creates more competition, I'm here for it.
Playbook Boxing is powered by our friends at Betway. For exclusive acquisition offers, free bets and much more, download the Betway app now.
But do you not think it makes it slightly harder? Because, for example, talking about the Benavidez and Jai Opetaia fight, which people would like to see, is now potentially not going to happen because we have this whole battle of the belts sort of thing. I know before we've had that when there might be promoter arguments or TV deals and all that sort of stuff complicating boxing, but it's another complication now that it's like, well, no, you have to come fight for my belt, and it's like, well, no, you have to come and fight for the original belts, and
no, I don't think that's never been a problem in boxing. There's always been belts and different organisations. I think ultimately, if there's enough money on the table, these arguments will be put to one side, and we're seeing that, you know, even with the AJ Fury fight, and who would have thought AJ be fighting Jake Paul? Who would have ever thought that? Like,
you nailed it, Tunde, because I was just going to say, like, listen, what it does with these entities coming into the sport of boxing is that it monetizes it, and he now is a prize fighter, and ultimately that's what it's all about: securing the futures, the family's future, etc. And the world has changed. It's all about now, you know, it's all about YouTube, it's all about Netflix, it's all about. So I just think that Zuffa boxing coming into boxing is only good for these guys.
1,000,000%.
How long that lasts, I don't know. Like, as in, it will find its balance. But right now, a new organisation coming in benefits Anthony Yarde and every other boxer that's out there right now. That's the way that I feel about it. So I say, that's all I want.
I think
putting your life on the line. You know, I think that's what it's about.
Exactly, boxers, and again, why I feel they need protection as well, because 1 month, 2 months, a year after these guys retire, no one ain't talking about them.
Everyone forgets about it.
So everyone forgets about them. Right. So they have to be rewarded for this, you know, gladiatorial sport that these young men are involved in. It's not going to last forever. You can't take a belt to Halifax.
That's right.
You can't take your...
That was a good one.
You can't take it. You can't... I don't care. You take the WBC to Barclays. Right. It'll just laugh at you. They'll laugh at you.
You're right.
The only thing that matters when all's said and done is the remuneration that these young men get. And if there are other players in the game that are going to raise the bar, the level of money, because, you know, one organisation wants to pay you this, the other organisation, hold on, mate.
Well, they're just going to have to up their game all the time.
Yeah. So who does that benefit? Nobody makes any bones when you're seeing footballers get 400 grand a week.
Sure.
These men, and then you don't want to pay these guys 400, $1 million a fight.
Yeah, I agree.
When there's more long-term potential damage than a footballer getting kicked in his shin, but he's getting 400. It's like, this is the hardest sport in the world. And I feel like Dana's good for boxing, Eddie's good for boxing, Frank's good for boxing. The more in the pot, the better.
Totally agree. And, you know, I always say, like, this is beautiful when, like, because our dream as fighters, like, I want to be world champion. I want that green and gold belt up on the wall. I want this. I want to look at my world title belt. You go, but fast forward 10 years and you're looking at your world title belt and you're going, that's a beautiful belt, isn't it? But I'm starving. I've got no food in the cupboard. You know what I mean? I go, like, that slowly, like, just like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I've recognised now. I'm out of it. And, like, you know, you move on in your life or whatever, you just go, that's why I always harp on about it. Go, these guys need to be rewarded.
Trust me.
Because when you're in it, you go, all you want is the belt, because the money comes with that, and sometimes it doesn't. Yes. But what I'm saying is, ultimately, it's prize fighting. You put your life on the line.
And there's a lot of
people's entertainment, and you get the lovely belt. But I want a little bit of that as well.
Yeah, and you know, like your generation and before that, there's a lot of bitterness. When you speak to these ex-professionals, there's a lot of bitterness. They're like, but he ain't like the old days when they fight. But they said, and the money they get, these kids get. So there's bitterness there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now they're realizing
because they missed the opportunity of that money.
You know, Julius Francis was talking to me the other day. He's like, yeah. I said, bro, you got to get with the program.
Yeah.
You know, you got iShow Speed, these streamers making millions. So when you got two guys getting in the ring fighting, what should they be paid? They should be paid way more than these streamers because, you know, it's a short career.
What's your take on Tyson coming back? Do you view it as great, Tyson's back and he's talking about bringing the energy back to the heavyweight division and the fun and everything like that? Or do you view it as quite sad that he's not able to walk away? Which one?
For me, from what I've seen, he's still primed off. You know, he's still in his prime.
Yes.
For me, he still looks good. It's not like he's a beaten fighter. You know, he's getting knocked out, and you know he's lost his reflexes or whatever. For me, he still looks good, and you know we still want to see we're seeing it now.
Fight,
Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. So I feel like it would have been bittersweet, you know, him retiring, and that fight not happening. But we're getting it now. I think after this fight, whether they do one or two, both of them can retire, live happily ever after. And I think that's the last fight we want to see from both of them, in my opinion.
Who wins it?
I don't know. The reason I say that here, because I used to say, and it always changes, this is why it's such a good fight. I used to say AJ will struggle against, you know, a prime Wilder, but I used to say AJ will beat Fury. And then I got to the stage where I was like, Fury's too good of a boxer. You know, he will beat...
That's what I remember. I don't remember that other one.
Yeah, that's what I said for both. Then I said, Fury's too good of a boxer and, you know, he would just outbox AJ. So there's two ways the fight can go. I think we're going to see a Anthony Joshua like tune-up fight. Again, it's risky.
Yeah.
It's risky. I think we just want to see that fight. We don't know how he's going to be after the car crash and him losing two of his closest friends and being in the car when the car crash happened. I think we're all just got our fingers crossed and we're just hoping that it goes smoothly so we can see the big fight.
I think the great thing about that fight, because there's such recognisable names, not just in boxing but outside, they transcended outside of boxing.
Exactly.
Because they both had inspirational stories. The way Tyson Fury come back to bipolar, and Anthony Joshua where he come from as a kid, like a bit like yourself. You know, it inspires the younger generation, the kids that are never going to amount to anything. Gives them a bit of hope, doesn't it? So I think that we need, not just us as boxing fans need that fight, but I just think it's a healthy for everybody, and it trickles down in our sport of boxing as well. You go like, that's what, you know, the young kids are going to be watching, and it just, you know, that might inspire the next heavyweight champion in the world.
Exactly.
When we talk about the next heavyweight champion in the world, we do have a heavyweight title fight on the weekend, so I have to get your thoughts on it. Fabio Wardley making his first title defence against Daniel Dubois.
He's smiling.
Sometimes
I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Well, sometimes champions take an easy touch for their first defence, especially in the nature in which Fabio got his belt.
Yes. Just
to make sure he gets that hand raised and has that moment of having the belt, you know, round him. But then he's not done that at all. He's decided to go with Daniel Dubois. Daniel obviously shocked the world. People had him as an underdog against Anthony Joshua, but then had the loss to Alexander Usyk for the second time. How do you see this fight unfolding on Saturday?
I feel like this is why, for me, as a boxing fan, it's so exciting because, for me, genuinely, it all falls on what Daniel Dubois shows up. And that's just my honest opinion. If you got the Daniel Dubois that shows up, that fought AJ, when he comes out sweating and he's pacing up and down, he's looking at him across the ring and, you know, I think he gives any heavyweight a ridiculous night. But if you get the, you know, the calm guy that comes in and nodding at everyone, yep, you're right. Fabio Wardley's he's shown himself time and time again. He's been the underdog so many times, come out on top. I feel like it's just one of them fights that's entertainment and they can both hit.
Yeah. Tunde, I want to get your opinion on this. So Daniel Dubois, as we all know, looks to his father quite a lot.
Yes.
I think it was the Miller fight when his dad got pulled into the corner, to kind of give him that extra boost, let's say. Do you think that having that much of a reliance on his dad is hindering him from developing, or do you think if they harness it properly and he does get the nod from his dad when he needs it, it helps him and can spur him on?
No, I've never understood how a father's influence can be a bad thing to their son. It just don't like. That's why sometimes I don't even listen to these comments because the narrative is just ridiculous. Joe Kazagi had his dad. Floyd Mayweather had his dad. Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach was a dad figure to him. Dave, Stan, whatever you want to call it. I know these people because they come from my area. We all grew up together, and Dan used to come to the gym. He used to do the runs with us. And I feel like if you take Dave, let's call him Dave, away from Daniel, you're not going to get this, or Stan, away from Stan. Well, I told you that we come from New Cross, so like, we're like,
I only ever call him Stan anyway.
We got multiple names. We got multiple names. But if you take a father away that's plays such a vital role in getting him into the sport, developing. Remember, this man has brought Daniel Dubois, Caroline Dubois under a system, which obviously works because both of them have been world champions. It may seem harsh to the outside, but none of us are with them. None of us know what is going on when the cameras are not on. And this is Daniel's lifeline. And I feel like you separate that from Daniel because I've watched amateur fights when Daniel's dad will start saying, fucking get him, like, do it. And then Daniel just switches, he just turns.
Yeah.
Now, is it a bad thing? Because in the same token, it's almost as like he's got a lever. So Daniel will look when something's going wrong. And if his dad says, no more, don't care, Daniel will stop. And he's done that in fights. He's done that in fights. But then that's the fatherly love coming out. He don't want to see his son take unnecessary punishment. And when people talk about quitting, this guy's lost against Alexander Usyk twice. Daniel ain't no easy fight. Yeah. Daniel is going in there to cause... He knocked out AJ.
The winner is potentially going to fight Alexander Usyk, or at least that's been spoken about at the moment. Usyk said before that he was going to fight the winner of Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley, but then didn't fight Fabio Wardley. If Fabio Wardley wins, do you think Usyk will fight him?
I don't know. I don't think Usyk's not fighting him for any reason of, being scared or worrying or anything like that. I feel like sometimes us as fans, when we're watching boxing as fans, we only look at why they're not fighting each other. But there's so much I think it was the commercial value at the time with Fabio Wardley, wasn't it? He's right, he's beat Joseph Parker, but still I think that he needs to earn his stripes. You go, but if he beats then Daniel Dubois, you go, there's some validation there now. Surely, you go, you're talking about you want to clear up this generation and everything else, and I get that, and he's entitled to the Verhoeven fight because he's earned that. But you go, now if you want to continue looking at that, you go, and Fabio does come through, that's another name that you got to tick off the list for this modern generation, do you think?
Yeah, so who would you say has got more commercial value? Fabio or Deontay Wilder?
Oh, Deontay Wilder.
So this is what I'm trying to say.
But I've said that all along.
Generational ticking off names. I think Deontay's a good one.
What does more box office sales?
Deontay.
Fabio or Deontay. Right, so us as boxing fans, and anyone that's watching this now, I can see him screaming at the telly. What are you fucking on about? Deontay Wilder's finished, but the casual fan, the one that likes to dip their toe in and out of boxing, that knows Deontay Wilder, they want to see that fight. They might not have heard of that yet. So I've said it all along. For Alexander Usyk, I go, really, you need to box Deontay because when we're talking about in 20 years' time, people go, why didn't that fight happen? Because they forget, don't they, that Deontay may be past his best and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the name he didn't tick off.
To be fair, though, when it comes to Usyk, I would just be honest with everybody. He can't be questioned.
No way. No,
he just can't. Like, he come away from his home. He's come to UK 3 times and beaten the 3 world champions 2 times each, 2 apiece. And again, if you look at his amateur record, his amateur career, his cruiserweight career, he's someone that's he's almost clocked boxing.
He clocked the game.
I was asking David Hay about this yesterday in the build up to the fight on the weekend, and I was saying about Alexander Usyk and whatnot, and he said exactly that. He was like rattling it all off and saying about he fought Tyson Fury, fought AJ, fought Daniel Dubois, and then he kind of paused and he went, And he gave them a second chance as well.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
still
yeah,
couldn't
for
do
sure.
it. And,
And
the
he
way that he
travelled to
said
do
it.
Mate, not forgetting Tony Bellew. He
Yeah,
done that
Tony
as well.
Bellew,
yeah.
What is he like? 7-0 against that?
Yeah,
British
yeah.
7-0.
He's just an elite
I
fighter.
probably-
And so
I'll
there's
probably
always
left
gonna
one.
be, oh yeah, you have to fight him, you have to fight him, you have to fight him.
It will
Always.
continue
So I think,
forever.
and I guess that's why he's taken this fight against this kickboxer.
Yeah,
To me, that'd be a great way to just ride off into the sunset.
yeah.
Because your boxing will always find you the next opponent.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It will always find you the next opponent. And so, as Terence Crawford said last week, I've already undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Whether you want to be 4, 5, 6, it's never going to stop.
Yeah.
You know,
I think with Usyk as well, what I quite like now is because whenever I've spoken to him about retiring, it's always been like, yeah, you know, I have a date, but it didn't sound that convincing. Whereas now he said like he's planned his announcement, he knows how he's going to say that he's retiring, he's got his date, everything like that. And he keeps talking about making AJ undisputed. And I feel like because AJ's in camp with him now, that if he retires, he still feels like he's got the drive and the purpose because it's like, okay, I'm not training myself, but like I'm training him and almost now I'm living that dream still, but through him.
And it's such a beautiful story. Like it's like sometimes I see myself as a little weirdo because certain things make me so happy. It's nothing to do with me, but that story, it just shows you like the hearts of these people. Like Usyk, you know, I've met him so many times and he's just always got a good spirit about him.
we were sitting next to him at Tottenham.
Yeah, I was sitting next to him too. He was trying to give me tips on how to beat better.
Yeah. He's
What was his tips?
Like he said he don't like being pushed back. Press.
Yeah.
When he comes, press harder. If he comes, move. He don't like this. He don't like this. Then press again. So like even little things, it's like I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm not you. Like, you know,
It's different.
You're
All
bigger
these
than me.
amateur fights, yeah.
But it's just, you know, you see it. He's got a good heart. You know, he wants AJ to do so well. He's beat AJ twice.
Going back to what Charlotte?
Yeah.
Yeah, what Charlotte said. I remember the name because that was my crush when I was like 12 years old. I'm never going to forget that name. But the question you asked about Fury and him coming back, I did hear Tyson Fury say something which was profound. He's basically said that after AJ had the accident and AJ lost 2 of his closest friends, he thought about himself. He's like, see, as Ant said, you don't know what tomorrow holds.
Yeah.
So it's like, while I've still got my faculties, while I know I still can do my dodgy sticking out, I might as well go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because tomorrow is not promised for no one. And Ant said it, Tyson Fury, he's still got the moves, he's still got the reflexes. He looked particularly very sharp after someone who's retired for so long. He still looks sharp to me, and he's going to be sharper the next fight.
Yeah.
So it's about the moment, as you said. It's about enjoying your time because it's not forever. And while you have the faculties and the physicalities to continue to box, why not? You know?
I agree.
Talking about the future and still being in your prime, I want to round it off by going back to you now. Tunde, you said earlier that Anthony has so much to still give, but also so much that he can improve, develop, and more to come from him. What is more to come from Anthony Yarde?
Well, you know, the dream is alive as long as you don't give up on it. As long as you, in your own mind, it's like my son, he's saying he's going to be a footballer. He's not stopping. And I relate to the energy. It's like Ant wants to be a champion. I want to be the champion trainer. You know, and as long as you got that zest to continue to go, and you can see this individual in front of you getting better and better and better, regardless of what's happened. It's only when you focus on that that it will affect you.
Yeah.
And Ant is focused. I'm focused on improving, and I'm seeing Ant sharper every day. You know, sparring, movement, training, the zest to come in the gym and start doing Michael Jackson moves.
I was doing Michael Jackson in the ring.
All the ring.
When I was sparring.
You're a good mover.
Trust me, when he's doing pads, he's doing Michael Jackson. I'm trying to keep a straight face, and this guy's just making me laugh.
Do you know what? You're always only, like, especially now and where you're sat, you know, in the division and whatnot. You're still ranked like what, number 5 in the Ring Magazine rankings or whatever. So you're there. You know what I mean? You're one win away, basically. Do you think, like, looking at a roadmap, and it's a fight that we've always wanted, never had, with Joshua Buatsi in that fight, and he's coming off a win now as well. You go, there's still a great fight, but also for both of you guys, it's a chance. It's a statement fight, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Because that catapults you into that big fight, whether that be, with Biv or whoever, Benavidez if he's around back at light heavyweight, whoever it may be. But is that a fight that is possibly closer now than it's ever been for both of you guys? Because you sort of like it's running parallel at the moment in your careers.
I don't think we're running parallel.
No, but I'm saying
no.
But it's a fight. It's a fight away from fighting for a world title.
And I know what you mean. And you've wanted that fight. I think the public have wanted that fight. I've wanted that fight. I don't think my characteristics can be questioned ever with me, who I would fight. Or like, do I want this fight or do I want that fight?
Ant's been wanting to fight these guys. Callum Smith was there. Frank will tell you, he couldn't get over the line. Buatsi was there. Couldn't get over the line. We can come with all these excuses about Benjamin. These are fighters. They want to fight. So Ant has always want to fight.
What's the reason behind not getting it over the line? Is it financial? Is it financial?
Ant just told you that he turned down 1 million to fight.
I didn't say a number. You just told him
sorry.
I turned down $1 million.
He turned down £1 million. Fight purses what these fighters have never made.
Yeah.
They ain't made that type of money. So Ant has been turning down fights to give the public what they want.
Yeah.
So you talk about, there's many. There's Chris Billum Smith. There's Jai Opataya. There's who else? Obviously Buatsi, Smith. These are the guys. Ant's a big, Ant's a superstar. And that's why even the current light heavyweights in Britain, you can regurgitate them, let them fight each other. None of them don't mean nothing unless they fight Ant. And just like the cruiserweights. And against, I put this on my page. Anthony Yarde and a list of fighters that will be big mega fights. The reason why you're saying that, and I agree with you, it's more likely now, is because they're probably looking at Ant like, oh yeah, he's had 3 fights. So yeah, no, we're still gonna fight. Ant will still fight you. So Ant doesn't really like to talk. I'm the motor mouth when it comes to this, because I know how much he wants to fight these guys.
Yeah.
So is it financial? Of course it is. We just sat here talking about fighters getting paid what they're worth. And none of these British light heavyweight are worth more than Anthony Yarde.
I remember there was a time where I think Simon tried to get at Tunde saying about we outpriced ourselves, and I was like, hold on. In terms of like stature or whatever, we've given a fair figure, and other people are saying they want more than me.
Yeah,
and you ain't even fought for a world title yet.
50-50.
50, like you ain't even fought for a world title, and it's like we're trying to be cordial here or whatever, but you're saying you want more than me, or I can't get more than you. Like it don't make no sense. It's like now you just don't want the fight to happen. Like I've fought 3 world champions. Like my name's been bigger than yours. Like your name's been attached to mine from the beginning, and he's not the only other person. So I'm a realistic person. I'm fighting Better Biev. Okay, you're the guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're the guy. Yeah. Come then, let's fight. Yeah. So it's like you're fighting Benavidez. You're the champion. Okay. Can we fight, please?
Yeah. And there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse, because they all had the opportunity. They were asked before Ant, and they all turned down these guys. Beterbiev, Kovalev, Benavidez. Benavidez told you on the round table. Anthony Yarde is the only guy that came to the table, that came to fight.
He said, you're the only light heavyweight I respect.
There's one guy that I've been told to ask you about. Always feels ridiculous bringing it up now after that conversation, but just to get your take on it, in the news on social media it's been floated around about the idea of Ben Whittaker and you. What do you think when you see the idea of Ben Whittaker, who is obviously still building at the moment, getting a shot in there with you?
You know what, I like what he brings to the table. He's entertaining. He's gone viral a few times. Again, like these are fights that if it's a big fight and the fans are interested in it, what's up the paperwork?
I was going to say it's a silly question. Me saying to you, is that a fight that you would take? Because that's just we might as well bleep that out, ain't we? It's pointless. Move on. Anyway, yeah, of course.
I mean, listen. answer. I don't need to really
Yeah,
explain.
you
You
don't
know
need
me. I don't need to
Yeah.
explain it. It is what it is.
If it makes sense, it makes sense.
If it makes sense, I'm in the ring.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just saying it and it hasn't
No,
happened.
if it makes sense,
if it makes sense, you're gonna see me in the ring.
will we ever see you doing any of your Jackson moves on your ring walk or
Hey,
anything?
you never know.
Because you know
Next
what,
ring walk,
I'm seeing a lot of moves going on when I'm looking on socials, and you're in the gym with Tunde and you're doing all these weird dances and whatnot. I'm seeing you on holiday doing it. The only time I haven't seen you doing it is on a ring walk. Can
Do
we
you
have
know
some of that?
Do you know what? Yeah. What's weird is that my ring walks are always like spontaneous. But I don't think you will get me doing
No
Michael
Jackson, mate.
Jackson no, before the fight.
No choreographed
Yeah, I
dance.
don't know about
and-
any.
I don't know, mate.
choreography.
I think you might just flip into it one time.
You always say, do you
Maybe.
want to give the fans what they want? That's the
Yeah.
fans are asking for Michael Jackson dancing.
Like you say, it's spontaneous, man. Like you might just walk out there and the switch just goes.
You get what- That's what I'm saying. It's spontaneous. It's spontaneous.
You just catch some like Michael Jackson looking like in the crowd or something.
Look, lastly, before we let you go, do you have an idea of when you're looking to be back, or
As soon as possible. That's it. As soon as possible.
are you negotiating at the moment? I feel like you kind of are, but you don't want to say anything. You don't have to say who or how far along, but are you in talks?
I think you said it. You said I don't want to say, so I ain't gonna say it.
So let's hope we see Ant back in the
Ant
ring
will be back in the
sometime
ring
this
soon,
summer,
yeah.
early summer.
Yeah,
that'd be
exactly.
nice.
That would be nice.
There you go.
I'll be back.
Look, guys, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you
Really
so
enjoyed
much.
chatting to you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, excellent.
It's been good. Lions in the car.
You
You got to do it. I know. I got him.
I should have known it was coming as well.